Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by today. You know, don't be so quick to give up. Good morning! On your dream of living overseas or writing the Philippines off. It generally takes about 5 years to achieve anything worthy of achieving. I remember my first attempt to stop drinking. I had an auntie who had many years of sobriety before she died. She told me, she said, it takes about 5 years for all this to sink in, for you to ever understand any of this. Nothing's going to make sense to you until after 5 years. And she was absolutely correct. Everything started falling in place. It started making sense. 5 years seems to be the tipping point. Most college students, it takes them 5 years to receive their bachelor's degree, not 4. And this is the same thing that has happened to me in the Philippines. I recently went over 5 years being in this country. And it's all starting to make sense to me. It's all starting to set in. I'm really starting to appreciate what I've accomplished. I've appreciated how far I've come. Because a lot of this stuff we take for granted. But I was talking to a young guy a couple of days ago. He's from Australia. And I just said, man, you know, he said how unhappy he was in the Philippines and he misses this and he misses that about Australia. And I just told him, don't be so quick to write the Philippines off. There's a lot to see here. There's a lot to do. And it usually takes about 5 years for it all to come together. And it's that first year that is the most difficult. I mean, you remember when your first year in high school, but let's keep it on the Philippines. It's difficult, man. It took me 5 years to get acclimated to the country, to really get settled in, to really understand what I'm doing over here. All those years up to the 5th year added to my knowledge and my appreciation. That's why I don't complain nearly as much as I used to. This is what the Philippines has been trying to teach me for 5 years. Don't sweat the small stuff. On my live stream, I was talking about how my complaints fall on deaf ears over here. Ever since I've come here, so I come in here. Because the things I complain about are nothing to the average Filipino over here and what they endure. But it took me 5 years for that really to sink in. And it's other things too. You know, when I look back on my old life, the life that I left, but it took me 5 years to appreciate that. I left a lot of money on the table. But that's a trade-off because the cost of living over here is less. So I don't need as much money. So I was able to quit my job. That doesn't really sink in until after about 5 years when you realize you still see people your age. I'm 60. I'm technically not retired. And 62 is when I can start receiving my Social Security. So when you see other people your age and they're still working, they're still chained, they still have that ball and chain around your neck, you don't really get the appreciation until after about 5 years. And I know this may not make sense to you, but it will. Because I see too many people packing it in and leaving after several months. even a few months. And I'm like, give yourself a chance, man. Give yourself more time. Don't give up. You're giving up too soon. It takes a long time to achieve anything significant. But you know, we live in a society now, we live in a time now where with the internet and the technology, we're fooled. We have some unrealistic expectations about how long it would take to accomplish something. We want it overnight. We want the immediate results, not realizing that, hey, my own Buntag, that it takes time. You can't go to 0 to 100 in one day, and you can't move to the Philippines and get settled in and acclimated in a hurry. It's going to take you 5 years. I don't even see the poverty anymore. I don't ignore it, but I don't see it like I used to. It's here. It's all around me. I've done videos about it. But after 5 years, I'm starting to appreciate the people because of what they have to endure despite the poverty, despite the hardships. I had a best friend, one of the best friends I've ever had. When he was a baby, he was involved in a fire. And it burned over 90% of his body. And of course, when we first met, I saw the scars. But as we got closer and closer and our friendship grew and our bond grew stronger, I no longer saw the scars, I promise. If I go home today and I see him, I'm not going to see those scars. And they're all over. They're all apparent to anybody who doesn't know him. But it's the same thing over here. You stop seeing a lot of the negative stuff that you hear about in the Philippines. You stop complaining. You get a grip on things and you settle in. You become acclimated. What does that mean? Being accustomed to a new environment or your new situation. It's going to take 5 years, guys. Anything other than that, I don't want to hear it. You just gave up. You got to stop and think about your life and how long it really takes for us to accomplish anything. It's usually 5 years. 5 years is that tipping point. That's why I'm talking about it today. So many of us, we give up. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't give ourselves enough time. Even in the relationship I'm in now, it's approaching 5 years. I'm really starting to appreciate what I've got. It hasn't always been that way. Every day up into the 5 years, it's been a learning experience. It's been a learning curve. And I've made some mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes. Some guy was on my live stream the other day, says, yeah, I'm kind of conflicted on your information. I'm like, well, you may be until you get over here, boots on the ground. Till you get off your couch and you actually come over here and experience what I'm experiencing and see what I'm seeing. Until then, observe what I'm doing. Don't focus so much on what I'm saying. I mean, the expectations and everything surrounding YouTubers, we're amateurs, ladies and gentlemen. Even though we get paid, very few of us over here in the Philippines went to cinematography school. We don't know anything about making videos and everything like that. It's all raw. It's all, you know, just simple stuff, but y'all hold us to such a high standard instead of really just enjoying the ride. But it takes 5 years, ladies and gentlemen. But go talk before you can get acclimated over here or wherever you are. And it may seem like, oh yeah, I'm already in there. I found my comfort zone after a year or two or whatever, but now more is going to be revealed as you continue your journey. But stand fast. Don't run. Don't leave. Because it's just getting started. There's a reason why you go to school at 5 years old over in America. There's a reason behind that. 5 years is the tipping point. There's some significance to 5 years. Stuart Brand said this. He said, any project that's worthy of being completed takes 5 years from the inception to the completion. So I'm going to tell you, give yourself 5 years before you write the Philippines off, or before you write your relationship off, or your job, or anything like that. Give it 5 years. Because man, it's sweet now. I'm really appreciating my life now. It only sounded like I did before. But I didn't. It's really sinking in today. I want to give a shout out, hey, to Derek Q, man. He really did a good drive around of San Carlos City, this beautiful city. Go on his channel and watch that. It's San Carlos City. I believe it's the cleanest city in the Philippines or whatever. And it is. You can see that. I'm just practicing right now with my gimbal so that I can get back out here and give y'all some of what y'all like. I'm in Center Mall, my favorite place really in all the Philippines other than a beach. You're just not going to find a place as beautiful as this. And remember, you won't appreciate this until after 5 years. Some guy left after 2 months. I was like, come on, man. You just wasn't ready. I mean, some of us are just soft. But the fact that I no longer have to work is sinking in right now to me. I don't have to punch that clock. I don't have to deal with those ungrateful bosses and play all those games that we have to play at work just to keep our job. Because you have to work up until a certain point to take care of the kids, to take care of the family, to the mortgage and all that. It feels like you're in a prison. And then when you don't have to work, it's like freedom. It's like you've been let out of jail. But you don't appreciate that for a long time. Because the memories of your job are still in your mind. You know, I got a good woman, man. Got a good relationship. She don't have hang-ups about sex and all that immature stuff. I'm really just now starting to see the beauty of her on the inside out. Yeah, it takes me a while, guys. It takes me 5 years. I'm slow. And then I'm just now really starting to appreciate the natural beauty over here. You know, people always complain about the Philippines, and then I always have to remind them, listen, there's 2,000 islands over here. There's no way you know this whole place. Most of us see about 10 islands, and if you see 10 islands in the Philippines, consider yourself a world traveler. I didn't say 10 cities, I said 10 islands. Most of us go to Manila, which is Luzon, Cebu, Central Visayas, Cebu Island, of course, Dumaguete, Negros. Very few islands, guys, because when you're in Palawan, remember, Palawan, Siquijor, Boracay, but it gets crickets after that, Surigao, what's that, 6? So if you go to 10 islands here, you're doing something. But there's 2,000 islands here that people actually live on. So don't be so quick to write the Philippines off. Don't be so quick to write your retirement off. Give yourself some time. Give yourself a chance. It usually takes about 5 years. That's the tipping point. It's all going to start making sense. You're going to start appreciating what's going on in your life. What's going on in this country. I don't complain, man. Yesterday we were supposed to have our water heater installed for our shower. Well, they didn't come. I told Merlin, I said, hey, call them up. I said, because I know what's happened. They're going to tell you that the man didn't come in to work. And I'll be damned, that's what they told him. But I caught myself. I was going to start complaining. Then I remembered that over 100 people have recently died in a landslide in Duval. What am I complaining about a damn water heater for? And whether or not they installed it, they're going to install it eventually. But it's not that important. See, it took me 5 years to come to that sort of thinking. It's not going to happen overnight. So if you find yourself complaining, okay, complain. But keep things in perspective. Philippines and the Filipinos have been trying to teach me this from day one. Don't sweat the small stuff. Because I'll make a mountain out of a molehill in a minute. It's really not that bad. It's not compared to what many people over here endure on a day-to-day basis. So thank y'all so much for stopping by. I just wanted to come out here and walk a little bit and show y'all this beautiful, beautiful place again that I take for granted. It took me 5 years, man, to appreciate St. Carlos City. In May, it'll be 5 years since I start coming here, since I start living here. Being in America's getting late. I hope you help somebody before you let your head hit the pillow. If it doesn't put your life in jeopardy. If you're in the Philippines, I guess it's about 7:30 a.m. on a beautiful Tuesday morning. I'm going to do my live stream today, like I do every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Now, a day goes by, I don't help somebody. I'm going to help somebody today. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see y'all next time. And don't do nothing stupid.